Bama n'abalamu terya lutonze kamera za sevo nazo nno kati zikola abayindi bagala kufuka tribe ne Uganda angina katono tumwina mulyewo bamaye gakozesa bibye ne bamusalako as thou I did to see enantabazinemu on the cabinet list banange Uganda government where are you to be continued next year.
Yes. Now, in 2018, detectives arrested local musician Moses Nsumuga, popularly known as Viboyo, the person who was singing in that rap-up, for composing a song in which he allegedly used obscene words to attack the central government right here and its leaders, including the president, Yoweri Museveni, and the Speaker of Parliament, Rebecca Kadaga. It turned out it was a case of mistaken identity, and the politically conscious artist was not behind the song. Well, that incident made it to his 2018 wrap-up with Saint Nelly, and this was his 7th. Today, it is 8 years since he started this, and he joins us today to explain to us what has he been up to and to explain to us what the wrap-ups are all about. Viboyo, a very good morning, and thank you for joining us on Morning at NTV. I also have Andrew Kagwa. He's an arts and culture journalist. We'll be continuing with this banter with the two of them. So, Mr. Viboyo, the 2019 wrap-up, but before we get into the 2019 wrap-up, get us into that story in 2018. Yes, someone releases a song attacking the president and the Speaker of Parliament, Rebecca Kadaga, and instead they came for you. It was a case of mistaken identity. So it seems like you're the only person doing wrap-ups. So automatically someone thought, that has to be Viboyo. Tell us about that ordeal.
Well, it also gave me some kind of strength to keep going. Because if
You
they
realize
can,
you're popular.
I mean, if they could stick stuff on me that I didn't even do, and maybe they thought good songs are all because of me, then it got me moving. Well,
so this is Nsumuga guy. Who was he?
Simple, humble guy, very down to earth, and hardworking.
So you finally met him. And what happened?
Well,
because I'm thinking about this way, Andrew. I'm sent to jail for something I didn't do, and then I meet this guy who allegedly did it. What would you do if you were that person, Andrew? What would you do?
No, it's one. Okay, the song was.
You're thrown in jail, and then you miss Nsumuga the next day.
The song was quite
the
over
song
the
was
top.
quite very harsh.
Yeah.
It was quite over the board.
Yeah.
But there are two things you can do. One, they found out it's mistaken identity, and then you get to meet the guy after they've already moved on. Maybe you just let that water be. You just let it.
So, Viboyo, in your own assessment, you met the guy and you were like, okay.
I let it go. I let it go because, I mean, he's a young man. He's just trying to come up also. Maybe he wanted a following, and somehow it could have gotten him in trouble. But, well, I took the bullet for him.
So since 2012, you've been actually every year you've been releasing wrap-ups on top of wrap. How have you consistently made sure that you stay at the top?
Well, staying at the top is you don't have to put it in mind that I have to be staying on the top all the time. I mean, that way you get off track. You just have to keep doing your thing, stay focused and disciplined. Yeah. So I've been doing my wrap-up since 2012. I remember the first wrap-up was produced by Benon at Swangs Avenue. And yeah, it caused a storm. I remember it even brought in a few wrangles with some of my friends. But then after time, that passed. And since then, yeah. And
you've not gotten in trouble with security before the 2018 debacle?
No, never. I'd never gotten into trouble with security about music or anything. That was my first experience.
So let's talk about this 2019 wrap-up. I did listen, it's 9 minutes long, and you are focusing on politics than usual. Before you were focusing on social issues, but this time around, it was politics all the way through. Help us understand the dynamics. Are you finally making that switch from talking about social change issues and finally into politics like Mr. Bobby Wine?
Well, if you've been following events in the last 2 years, I think politics have taken over everything in Uganda.
After
even
Arua.
the social events, after Arua, or after Bobby came into the game.
True.
Even the social events themselves now are politics. The music itself is being taken over by politics. You see artists are going to State House, artists are begging, I mean. So you cannot avoid politics at the time we're in now.
And yes, indeed. Go ahead.
I think in a simple way, politics came to the ghetto, and no, like yes, this entertainment industry of ours is where you find the real ghetto. Like probably at some point we get to buy cars and everything, but we're still the real youths. So politics came to the ghetto, and after politics came to the ghetto, trust me, since 2015, I imagine, when they released Bonga Nawe at the end of the year, like things have been very political. Like these days, when an artist goes to perform, as a person that's in the audience, you'll be looking like, okay, and they going to throw things because it's supposed so and so.
Wow.
Will this show actually go on because it's supposed so and so? So, like, you know, like right now things are very political. So I wasn't very surprised that the wrap-up this year and the previous year had quite very many political undertones.
And also, to add on that, I think politicians realize how strong music, how powerful music is.
Yes.
Yeah? I mean, they were ignoring it all the times in the past, but now they cannot avoid it.
Because it
They
looks
cannot-
like politicians are not coming to the ghetto. Politicians are not going to the ghetto, but they are going after artists in the ghetto to help them garner political clout. What do you think that is?
And trust me, they're not going to the ghetto for the love of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
It's all about
The dynamics of Bobby Wine's emergency. Oh, it's very confusing.
I mean-
Anyway, let's step away from that.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a lot you talked about in your wrap-up. You
Yeah.
also talked about the people in diaspora who are actually now making a lot of noise on social media right there. Tell us about that.
Well, a few years ago, bloggers, social media bloggers in the diaspora were only concentrating on social issues, stuffs that happened in the clubs, parties. But once Bobby crossed into politics, I mean, things changed. We have now very, very powerful Facebook influencers, yeah? People that have a big number of following. We have people that can fake a story and you find it everywhere. I mean, so bloggers, mainly bloggers in the diaspora, are becoming very, very, very influential.
So you mean some bloggers are actually disseminating false information?
Yeah, some of them,
we
if you do
can't be
follow.
so sure
Wow.
about the information some of them are sending.
So,
Could that be the reason why the government came out and said that they will not let people in the diaspora vote, let alone the prisoners?
well, they can, I mean, have they been voting in the past?
They have never, but they had wanted to, especially in this election, after you talked about Bobby Wine, so they're enthusiastic about him, so they want to vote.
They haven't been voting, but still, but now they're influencing people.
Let's talk about that influence.
They're influencing people on the ground. So much as they're not voting, they have followings. They have people that they're influencing. So it's very easy for a certain blogger to say, so-and-so is the right candidate to vote, and you find multitudes of people following. So.
Okay, besides the people in the diaspora, let's go back to Viboyo as an artist. What inspired you to start up all these wrap-ups to start with?
Well, in 2011, as I was planning to take a break in music, I wanted something that could at least keep me not far away from the music. Yeah? So I got advices from different friends, and then I landed onto this idea of doing wrap-ups. And the rest is history. Yeah.
Andrew, do you think music can be effective in affecting the social change?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. I mean, just look at how many ghetto youths are very conscious, how many poor people are very conscious about who is probably eating their money. And come on, we know very many people are eating our money. Like how people have used music to say things that people do not see in the news. Okay, it's not like the newspapers are not talking about this, but you know, Ugandans do not read that much, and Ugandans might find news boring a bit. So they might skip that, but then get that information through a song.
Yes, the information will be passed on, but the impact of the information. Bobby Wine was singing about these social changes for a long time.
Yes.
Nothing was coming to pass until he decided, you know what, the music is not working. I have to do it myself, get into those boots
The music actually did its job when he got in the
to
parliament.
wake the people up.
Because, trust me, not very many artists can get the kind of support he got.
I think it's before there was Honorable Chagulanyi. It's the music that gave him the foundation for everything, and people voted him because they knew they had listened to his songs.
Yes.
And he also knew if he were to continue singing, there would be no change. He would just be talking about the problem. So he decided, I'm going to go into
You can't stay the same.
the
You
mud.
can't stay the same person all and expect change.
So that brings me to Viboyo. Are you thinking of joining politics anytime soon?
That's the question.
Well, it's something I cannot write off. So
Instead of talking about social issues, do you feel like you...
it's something
Yeah.
I cannot write off. And yeah, probably one day I'll be into the political arena somewhere. Yeah.
Andrew? Let's talk about musicians entering politics in that regard.
Like you see, it's a very funny
are wrapping
thing.
up.
It's a very funny thing when people say, I hear artists usually saying, so and so brought politics in the game and it's killing everything. But no one is saying so and so brought politics into the court and it's killing the game. Lawyers have been joining politics for years and they continue being lawyers. It's very okay for artists to join politics because art has always been political.
Viboyo, we are wrapping up. Let's talk about your upcoming album.
Well, I'm working on something coming up very soon. Not so soon, but very soon. It will be a 17-track album. And it will be out there for my fans to download, to buy.
What's the name?
Music for Food.
Music
Music
for the
for
Soul. I like that. So when is it coming out?
Well, towards the end of the year. Yeah.
Towards the end of the year.
So the album is completely rap, or it's fusing the different versions of
It's a fusion.
Viboyo.
It's a fusion. It's a fusion, and it's going to be a collaboration. of
And no
different
politics in
artists.
there, just economic, social issues?
Well, an artist of our time cannot get away from politics.
Versatility
Somehow,
is the way
somewhere.
to go.
Exactly.
Viboyo, many thanks for having made the time to speak to us.
Thank
I also
you
had
for having me.
Andrew Kagwa, an arts and culture journalist with the Daily Monitor. We've been having this banter about, you know, the 2019 wrap-up. He mentioned so many things in there. You should just go to YouTube and take a listen to that 2019 wrap-up. Viboyo Oweyo 2019 wrap-up. That's the only thing you have to type into the YouTube, and it will just reflect right there. Even if you want to get some information about Alex Quizera, we had him on the show earlier on using art to effect change. Also on YouTube, you can just go and type in Alex Quizera. You can get to understand a lot more about the young man right there. So we've been talking about art as a whole and how best we can use it to effect change in our society. My name is Romeo Busiku, and the show has come to an end. We'll be here on Monday. Yes, on Monday, 6:30 all the way to 9 a.m. Right about now, have yourselves a blessed day. I'll be back here at around 1 p.m. for NTV at 1. Good morning.